Get your popcorn.
Jeffrey Riddle, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Yep, just a minute.
All right.
20 CO1 2311 F5 296, State of Indiana versus Jeffrey E. Riddle. Mr. Riddle, raise your right hand. You swear or affirm under the pains and penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
State your name.
Jeffrey Riddle.
Hang on a minute. Mr. Riddle, what is your date of birth?
1/15/88.
Show the defendant appears in person as a self-represented litigant from the Elkhart County Correctional Facility via WebEx, State of Indiana, in court by Deputy Prosecuting Attorneys Don Pitzer and Kathleen Clays. This is an initial hearing as a result of the State of Indiana having filed a charging information against you in 2 counts on 2 pages. Count 1, resisting law enforcement, a level 6 felony, reads as follows. The affidavit of the probable cause affidavit filed herewith swears that on or about November 16, 2023 at the County of Elkhart, State of Indiana, when Jeffrey E. Riddle did knowingly flee from a law enforcement officer, to wit, Officer Kevin Burkhart of the Napanee Police Department, after the officer had, by visible or audible means, including operation of the siren or emergency lights of said law enforcement officer, identified himself and ordered Jeffrey E. Riddle to stop, and Jeffrey E. Riddle used a vehicle to commit said offense, all of which is contrary to the form of Indiana Code Section 3544.131A, 3 and C1A, contrary to the form of the statute, such cases made and provided, and against the peace and dignity of the State of Indiana. Count 2, reckless driving, a Class C misdemeanor, reads as follows. The affidavit of the probable cause affidavit filed herewith swears that on or about November 16, 2023 at the County of Elkhart, State of Indiana, when Jeffrey E. Riddle did operate a vehicle and recklessly drive at such an unreasonably high rate of speed under the circumstances as to endanger the safety or property of others, all of which is contrary to the form of Indiana Code Section 9-21-8-52A1A, contrary to the form of the statute in such cases made and provided, and against the peace and dignity of the State of Indiana.
Yo, those are some hefty charges. Fleeing an officer and, reckless endangerment and all that other stuff. Those are some big time charges. This guy should get a lawyer.
On page 2, resisting law enforcement is elevated to a level 5 felony. The affidavit of the probable cause affidavit filed herewith swears that on or about November 16, 2023 at the County of Elkhart, State of Indiana, one Jeffrey E. Riddle, heretofore charged on page 1 of this information, had a previous unrelated conviction as defined in Indiana Code Section 1-1-2 and following of resisting law enforcement in a vehicle in the Elkhart Superior Court 2, cause number 20-DO2-1104 FD12 in Elkhart County, State of Indiana, on or about October 24, 2011, all of which is contrary to the form of Indiana Code Section 35-44.131A, 3 and C2B, contrary to the form of the statute in such cases made and provided, and against the peace and dignity of the State of Indiana. I will enter a preliminary plea of not guilty for you at this time. The penalty for a level 5 felony is an advisory sentence in prison of 3 years. It can be increased to 6 years for aggravating circumstances or reduced to 1 year for mitigating circumstances, and you can be fined up to $10,000. The penalty for a level 6 felony is a prison term, an advisory prison term of 1 year. It can be increased to 2.5 years for aggravating circumstances or reduced to 1.5 year for mitigating circumstances. And again, you can be fined up to $10,000. The penalty for a Class C misdemeanor is up to 60 days in jail and up to a $500 fine. Your preliminary plea of not guilty will become a formal plea of not guilty within 20 days from today, unless after consulting with your attorney you wish to enter a different plea. You have the right to a public and speedy trial by jury. You cannot be compelled to make any statement or testify against yourself in any hearing or trial, but you have the legal right to remain silent. Anything that you do say can be used against you. You have the right to face all witnesses against you and to see, hear, question, cross-examine them. You have the right to retain an attorney to represent you, and if you intend to retain your own attorney, you must do so within 20 days from today, since there are deadlines for filing certain motions and raising certain defenses. And if those deadlines are missed, the legal issues and defenses that could have been raised will be waived. If you're unable to afford an attorney, you have the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you at no expense to you. Do you have adequate funds to retain your own attorney?
I wish to go pro se, Your Honor, and I want to file a fast and speedy trial. Thank you.
Okay, I ask you a question. So you want to represent yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is a very bad idea. You realize that, don't you?
No, it's not, Your Honor. I know my rules and regulations. Thank you, Your Honor.
We're gonna see about that. Law says I have to let you do it. Hey, Mr. Riddle, you stop talking right now. You're gonna be held in contempt. You stop talking right now. You wanna represent yourself. The law says I have to let you make an awful decision and do that, but I have to make a record on it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You know the rules, and you know I gotta make a record on everything. No games in this court.
I'm not intimidated by the law. It's hypocrisy.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, Mr. Riddle, you wanna represent yourself, correct?
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't care about numbers. I'll check out. About numbers.
Do you understand this could be one of the worst decisions you've ever made?
Your Honor, I went pro se my last 3 cases, beat my last 3 cases. Thank you, Your Honor.
So, do you have any special training in
That's
the
irrelevant,
law,
Your Honor.
the evidence rules, or trial procedure?
It's irrelevant to this trial date, to this court date, Your Honor.
I ask you a question, Mr. Riddle. Would you answer the question, please?
Yes, I've been to the law library. Yes, I've studied the law, Your Honor.
Was that self-training, or did somebody teach you the law and the Indiana rules of trial procedure and the Indiana rules of evidence?
I've read that manual, I've read that book, and I've researched those. Yes, I have, Your Honor.
That
What
book.
book are you talking about?
That
All
one.
that you just described, Your Honor.
Well, they're in a lot more than one book, Mr. Riddle, so I don't know what book you read. That's what I'm trying to find out. What book did you read?
Whatever you just said, Your Honor, is what I studied, Your Honor.
Do you have any experience in investigating your case, interrogating witnesses, and finding favorable witnesses to assist you in your defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know what lesser included offenses are?
I'm familiar with it, yes, Your Honor.
What are the lesser included offenses in this case?
I don't know them off the top of my head, Your Honor.
One of the things you have to do at trial is think quickly on your feet. Are you able to do that?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Any experience in gathering documents and other kinds of exhibits and evidence to present at your trial?
When I get that far, yes, Your Honor.
Any experience in filing motions for pretrial motions or motions to be used at trial?
I'm familiar with filing motions, yes, Your Honor.
Any experience in examining and cross-examining witnesses at trial?
Yeah, no, Your Honor.
Don't you think you need some experience to do that at your trial?
I've watched enough Force 48, I've watched enough courtrooms that I get to shift the idea. Yes, Your Honor.
Court 48. Is he talking about that show where they solve crimes in 48 hours? Is that where he got his law degree from? Court 48 and TV.
If you're convicted and you get to sentencing, any experience in presenting favorable sentencing arguments?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you ever done an opening statement in front of a jury before?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever done a closing argument in front of a jury before?
I've never been in front of a jury, period, Your Honor.
The trials you did before, were they bench trials?
I started to proceed a bench trial, but they brought me a plea bargain good enough to take that I decided not to go to a bench trial.
You told me you beat that you went to trial 3 times and beat it. You're telling me now you pled guilty?
Your Honor, I just want to go pro se and file a fast and speedy trial, not be harassed.
Mr. Riddle, we've been through this. I just want to make a record, and you're going to let me make a record.
I just feel like I'm being harassed at this point, Your Honor.
You're not getting harassed at all. I have to, you know what? You want me to just go ahead? I'll do that. And you know what's going to happen? You're going back to the Elkhart County Correctional Facility without anything being done except me doing the initial hearing. Is that what you want me to do?
At this point in time, yes, Your Honor.
Great, I'll do that.
Only thing I'd like to file, if I can, is a bond reduction, fast and speedy.
We're going to get to that. We're going to do it my way, Mr. Riddle, not yours. We're going to get to that.
Yes, Your
We're
Honor.
going to get to that. Just hang on. We're going to get to that. So here's what I got. You want to represent yourself. I want to be clear on this. That has to be in writing. There's a form. You're such a bright guy and you're able to find everything. Good luck on that. You got to file a motion to represent yourself. Everything in my court is done in writing with motions. You got to file a motion to represent yourself. I'll be looking forward to receiving that. Next up, pretrial conference. Your pretrial conference is going to be December 28, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Your omnibus date is January 25, 2024. Do you even know what an omnibus date is, Mr. Riddle?
An omnibus date is like a day that they're like gonna bring me a plea bargain, or they're gonna talk about whatever they're gonna sanction they wanna bring me.
That's not what it is. That's not what it is at all. You're gonna do great. You'll do great representing yourself. Trial status conference. Your trial status conference is going to be August 15, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. Your case is scheduled for jury trial September 9, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. I'm advising you on the record that your case is scheduled for jury trial September 9, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. I'm advising you that if you fail to show up for that trial, the court will hold the jury trial without you.
Oh, he
I'm
will.
advising you that if you want to tell your side of the story, you want to call witnesses, you want to present evidence, you need to be in court for your jury trial September 9, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. Now, you mentioned bond. Would you like the court to get a bond report for you?
Please and thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Just hang on a minute. Let me do that. I'm going to order it right now. Last but not least, you mentioned a speedy trial. All speedy trial motions in circuit court must be in writing. I don't do anything that's not in writing. Be careful what you wish for, Mr. Riddle. You may get that speedy trial. You send me a speedy trial motion, I'm going to tell you exactly what it means to me. It means that there's no chance of a plea and that you're ready to go to trial. So if you then enter into a plea with the state, it will come to me only as a recommendation, not with certain terms. I've had 2 people already who thought I was kidding about this. They're both at the DOC and found out I wasn't kidding.
Can I have a public defender appointed to me then, Your Honor?
Yes, of course you can. I think that would be the best decision you've made this afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hang on a minute. Let's see if you qualify, Mr. Riddle. Maybe you don't qualify. Let's see. Just hang on.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I just don't like getting hemmed up in the courts, because every time I take a public defender, they stretch me out 90 days, 6 months, and I get stuck in jail and I can't get out. I got a family, I got kids, Your Honor. I had a job, Your Honor. You know, and it's really stressful for me right now. It's the holidays.
I'm sure, Mr. Riddle, I'm sure of that. It's stressful for everybody, but particularly for you. You're at the Elkhart County Correctional Facility. Okay, let's see if you qualify for counsel. Do you own any land?
No, Your Honor.
Do you own a car or any personal property you could sell?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any cash, any bank accounts, any investment accounts?
No, Your Honor.
Are you currently employed?
I mean, I was on the day of my arrest. That was 2 weeks ago. I don't know if I have that job any longer, Your Honor.
Let's presume you do not, Mr. Riddle. Court finds the defendant is indigent, appoints the public defender's office to represent the defendant. Court orders probation to prepare and file with the court a written bond report. Court will set this matter for hearing on bond upon receipt of that bond report. Cause coming on for initial hearing. Defendant appears in person as a self-represented litigant from the Elkhart County Correctional Facility via WebEx, State of Indiana, in court by Deputy Prosecuting Attorneys Don Pitzer and Kathleen Clays. Court conducts initial hearing. Court schedules pretrial conference for December 28, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Court schedules omnibus date for January 25, 2024. Court schedules trial status conference for August 15, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. Court schedules jury trial for September 9, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. Defendant advised on the record that his jury trial is scheduled for September 9, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. Defendant requests appointment of counsel. Defendant examined and found to be indigent. Public defender's office appointed to represent the defendant. Court orders probation to prepare and file with the court a written bond report. Court will set this matter for hearing on bond upon receipt of that report. So, Mr. Riddle, here's the deal. I'm either going to see you back here on December 28th, or it'll be before that if I get that bond report before that. Do you understand?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You bet. And your attorney should be out to see you before all of that, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You bet. Good luck to you, sir.
Happy holidays. God bless.
Thank you.
Wow. So he finally came around. But that's what the judge was trying to make happen. Yes, I know it drives me crazy too, but I love this judge nonetheless. And I know y'all, he's an enigma. Oh, that was just too much fun.